7. Beard outside the switch. Doncic goes on.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and we actually have some news as Cam Reddish now is going to be available to trade for, as well as Bogdanovic of the Atlanta Hawks. Of course, the Hawks were very excited to go out there and get Bogdanovic. They were very hyped to see Cam Reddish was there at 10. Some people actually had him like mocked in the top 8, but there were some concerns when it came to having a consistent motor, his conditioning, his efficiency, like how good can he really be, Cam Reddish? And I think he's a very insanely talented basketball player. He has yet to put it together. We don't know if he'll ever put it together. He's only 21 years old. 21 years of age. It's only his second season in the NBA. And again, he's had a disappointing season with the Atlanta Hawks. He was not great for the Atlanta Hawks last season. He eventually started to string together some games under Lloyd Pierce of the Atlanta Hawks, who's been fired. That was definitely the right move. I believe they've won like 7 or 8 in a row now with Nate McMillan. Having Nate McMillan on that coaching staff has been amazing for the Atlanta Hawks, and it's going to be great long term. I still don't know why the Indiana Pacers decided to move on from him. I think they just really didn't take a look at the reality. Like, that roster wasn't good enough to go on to win a championship yet. Like, they still needed a couple more pieces. In my opinion, they got greedy and didn't look at the full picture. Nate McMillan was not the full reason why they weren't succeeding or at least reaching their expectations. So I think that's going to be great for them long term. But I was really surprised how they made him available so quick because he's only 21 years of age. It's only his second season in the NBA. He's been very disappointing. He's been not great whatsoever, but again, he's young. He was taken for his high upside of what he can be at the end of the day, but I really would have liked to see what he could have done under a guy Nate McMillan. But anyway, Cam Reddish is a guy I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on at all. Kevin Knox most likely is not a part of the future. You could trade, draft capital, whatever you want. You actually could swap Knox and Reddish if you really want. I think Reddish, like in my opinion, I think he'll be better at the NBA level. I think he moves better. He's a better defensive player as well. Maybe you could say Knox's shot has more potential, but I really like the way Reddish moves. And I think even if he doesn't end up being like the star some people thought he could at least be a solid player at best, as I don't really see that with Knox because like he doesn't move that well defensively. He just looks very uncoordinated, while Reddish at least has some coordination to his game, and he has some decent footwork out there. And as well, you see some of the touch with Reddish shooting 80% from the charity stripe in his NBA career, as Knox has not been shooting that well. Like, you see some touch of Reddish's shot has not been falling, but I actually think it would be the perfect situation. But again, the problems with guys like Knox, Reddish is the motor. How bad do they want to be great? Some people really question Reddish's conditioning, like his diet at Duke, like if he really wants to be in top-notch shape, his motor, like is he gonna take many plays off, if you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it feels like he's not out there on the basketball court, but then some games he looks absolutely amazing. But we've seen potential of him thriving down the lane, dunking on people, making the right pass, playing defense, but then the next game he just absolutely disappears. But certain players grow different. Like, everyone grows at a different pace at the end of the day. Like, I was really frustrated with RJ. Now it looks like RJ is starting to get into his own, but that was never a question with RJ with his motor. We knew he had a high motor. You can't really teach motor. You can't really teach mentality, in my opinion. But if there's someone that will make sure Reddish is in top-notch shape when it comes to conditioning, that will be Tom Thibodeau. I'm kind of on the fence of going out there getting a Reddish, but I'm kind of not at the same time because it probably won't cost much because the Hawks are making him available, and it would literally just be a flyer, be kind of giving up nothing because we know Knox isn't a part of the future. So why not just take a flyer on a guy of Cam Reddish who has potential, and we need wing help. We need a wing for the future. Alec Burks isn't the future, and we know Bullock is not the future whatsoever. So why not go out there, try to just assign a role to Reddish, see what he does. Again, see if he passes the Tom Thibodeau test. Of course, Tom Thibodeau, very mentally tough guy, and I think he'll really make sure he's in the right conditioning shape. And it's also his job to make sure he enters the first day of camp like in a Knicks uniform or first practice, making sure that he's in top-notch shape. But those those reports may be false about like how his motor isn't great, but sometimes I watch him out there on the court, it seems like he just kind of is like too chill out there. It looks like he doesn't have a consistent motor, but I think he does have a lot of talent. But it does sound like I'm talking about Kevin Knox. So let me know down below your thoughts and analysis. Should we go after Cam Reddish? Because it will be dirt cheap, dirt cheap. And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.